Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this week's special presentation from VectorVest. This is Dan Mish, and I have the privilege of hosting this week and giving all of you subscribers a chance to win some money while enhancing your investment knowledge. I present to you the WorryFree Investing Challenge. Now, I will explain exactly how the challenge is set up, what you will need to do in the VectorVest program, and, of course, what you can win by entering. If you have already read today's Views newsletter or watched the Timing the Market video, then you have seen a complete set of rules for our challenge. And if you have not done either of those, I would encourage you to do so as soon as this presentation is complete. To begin, I want to make sure everybody understands what we're talking about here was first formed in a strategy of the week from January 29th of this year. That's where we unveiled what is the basis for our worry-free investing. And in that presentation, Ms. Kathy Onan showed us how to build a long-term backtest using a specific trading system that focuses heavily on using our VectorVest RS or relative safety indicator. What we're going to do is take that trading system and use it for our worry-free investing challenge. So to begin, what we need to do is get into the VectorVest program and set up a benchmark test to match exactly what is quoted in tonight's Views newsletter. In order to do that, what you should do is create a new backtest and give it the name of WorryFree Investing Challenge Benchmark. Now, since we already have the settings from that January 29th strategy of the week put in as a VectorVest template for you, all you need to do is select an existing trading system and choose the one that's down at the bottom. It's called Long-Term Winners RS Descending. Once you select that trading system, all we need to do is make sure the dates are correct to match what we're going to use in the Worry-Free Investing Challenge. So dial your start date calendar on the top all the way back to May the 17th of 1996. And that will match the start date that we used for the original test. Your end date should bring it all the way to February 26th of 2016, so last Friday. Once you have those two dates set, you can click on OK. Again, the template knows all the rules of this trading system, and all you'll need to do is go down and click on the Finish and Run button. Now, it will take VectorVest just a minute or two to go ahead and complete that test, and you should end up with the following results, where you can see over roughly the 20-year time frame we're testing, our $100,000 portfolio has grown by 522%. That gives us an annual rate of return of 26.3%, and we do have a drawdown of 29.7%. And if we take those numbers and plug them into our portfolio efficiency score spreadsheet, which is linked for you tonight in the views, you'll see this model run will reflect those same numbers right there, giving us a portfolio score of 6.74. That is our benchmark. That is what the challenge is going to be for you to try to beat. So what we have to do is start making some changes to see how we can create the winning submissions for our Worry-Free Investing Challenge. And the real key to what we did in this benchmark and what we're going to do with all of the submissions going forward is to use searches that are sorting stocks by RS or relative safety. So we can get to changing some of the other settings here in the backtester in just a moment. First, let me show you how you can alter an existing search to reflect that RS sort. And for that, we'll move over into the Unisearch section. I've got us in my favorite folder here called Searches Retirement, and one of my favorite searches is called Premier Growth Stocks. Now we're not going to change any of the parameters that we see here for this right now. We're just going to go right up above the date calendar, and this existing search has a sort that is VST times RT times CI. So it's got a lot of VectorVest baked into it. All we're going to do is click on there and open up the primary sort and change that to reflect RS, and make sure you do have the descending button triggered. And that's it. We'll click on OK. And now all we have to do is save this new search by clicking on the Save button, choosing Save As. And all I'm going to do for now is just put the letters RS at the end of Premier Growth Stock so I know what it's talking about. It will remain a long search, and it will default save it into the same folder that the original Premier Growth Stocks is in. So when you click on OK, we now have Premier Growth Stocks RS, and you can see that we do have the RS descending sort in play. So now let's put that to the test. We'll move back into the Backtester. We'll take our WorryFree Investing Challenge benchmark, and we will make a copy. Now the first thing I'm going to do is change the name up at the top, and I will name this Premier Growth Stocks RS. And then we simply have to come down to the button that says Customize Trading System. And this is where we get the chance to modify all sorts of things in the Backtester. Now I should point out that the original benchmark test that we're using and all of our tests going forward are using market timing. In order to have that market timing available to you, you do need to own the auto tester, and there is a link for that in the views tonight for you to take out a trial, or of course you can always give us a call to make sure you have that as part of your VectorVest subscription. We're not going to change any market timing right now. We're just going to go to the automation rules up, and on the very first tab you can see it begins with what was the original trading plan using that long-term winners RS search. I'll scroll down, select Premier Growth Stocks RS, and that's the only change we're going to make. We'll click on Finish, and then once again in the bottom right corner we can click on Finish and Run. And the Backtester will now take that same trading system as outlined by the benchmark. We will simply be buying stocks from this Premier Growth Stocks RS search. Once the VectorVest program is done running that test, you can see we now have two tests, both following the same trading system but using different searches. Therefore, they're using different stocks during their trading. And we would take all these numbers from this data line and plug in the ones that we need to into that same portfolio efficiency score sheet that we showed earlier, and that's linked for you in the views. Now we did not do as well, but the point here is to illustrate the process we want you to go through for the challenge. So we can continue to modify different searches in the VectorVest program, or as outlined in the rules, you can create your own custom searches, or we can begin modifying the trading system itself. So if I once again go back to the WorryFree Investing Challenge benchmark, and once again we'll make a copy, let's go back in to customize the trading system. Let's leave the market timing alone, and we'll leave the search the same, but we can modify what was the original stop criteria, which you can see is a recommendation equals sell. I'll go down to percentage gain loss, and let's just see what would happen if we would take our gains at a 30% gain and limit our losses to a 10% loss. And once again, that's the only change we'll make for this test. I'll simply put the numbers 30-10 up there in the name line. And once again, we'll click on Finish and Run. Now we have 3 tests here in the Backtester, and although, once again, we are still getting a very strong annual rate of return of almost 18%, Our results are not better than our benchmark. However, we have greatly improved on our drawdown. So what your challenge is to keep making these changes to either the search used or the trading system employed until you find one that can beat the results of that benchmark test. And of course, you can keep optimizing your test to your heart's content. Once your testing is complete and you have developed a backtest which outperforms the benchmark, what we want you to do is please go to that specific test, and let me be clear, please go to just that one specific test only that you want to submit, and I will show you how to name it so we can accept it and we can verify your challenge submission. So since my best looking result here is the original benchmark, I will click on that and choose the edit button. The proper naming convention for us for our worry-free investing challenge will be to use your initials. So for me, that would be DDM, and then type out challenge entry. It is extremely important that you only have one backtest with this initials and challenge entry naming convention in your version of VectorVest. This will allow our development team to extract the exact details of your test for our verification process. So you can name them anything you want at all as you're going through the process. Please only have one with your initials and challenge entry in your backtester. Once you have identified and properly named just that one test, you may submit your entry to wfichallenge@vectorvest.com. Just send us an email identifying yourself and include the name of your submission you want to put into the challenge. There will be one entry per customer only, and I'll remind you again to please have that proper naming convention. Once we have your entry, you will receive a response that we have it and that we are checking it for validation. You have from now until Friday, April the 8th to work on your testing and get the best submission you possibly can to send to us at wfichallenge@vectorvest.com. All validated entries will trade live in the VectorVest 7 program from May the 1st of this year through August the 1st. So we'll give them a full 3 months of actual trading in the program outside of that backtester. And once the live trading session is complete, we will announce the following winners. Our third place winner will receive a check for $1,250. Second place takes home $2,500. And our first place winner will get a check from VectorVest for $5,000. And so you know what to do. Make sure to review the original trading plan as set forth on January 29th of this year. Then we want you to go in and create a benchmark test using the specific dates of May 17th, 1996 through February 26th of 2016. Then begin making modifications and make sure you follow the rules as set in the views this evening. Once again, you must use RS descending as your sort, and then you can go in and change various settings in our backtester to optimize your results. We want you to submit your best effort, and then we want to see if you win. We are excited to see what our savvy investing subscribers are able to come up with, and we're also glad to have you further your VectorVest knowledge and confidence by participating in this challenge. The email address, once again, is wfichallenge@vectorvest.com. And as always, we welcome your phone calls regarding this worry-free investing challenge and any other questions related to our services. Thank you for listening, and best of luck with your testing.